Thank you everyone for joining. So I will be our host today, your host, my host, our host. um, I'm Miriam. I am also part of the Satyam team located in the Galilee. And before I'm going to introduce our guest for today, he will join me here live. Um, I will start with an opening prayer to open our hearts because we'll have a unique story being told and maybe a more rare one in these Zooms that we are holding. So we will open our hearts to hear and listen. And after the opening prayer, I will ask David to share a bit about Satyam and the hunger strike for anyone who's new here. There are always a few faces that I haven't seen yet, and also those that are coming again and again. So, welcome to everyone. And May is today not with us. She's with us in her spirit, in her heart. Maybe she can still connect. I don't know. She said.
She might join later. She's still giving in the Edward Said Music College. She's giving a workshop there in Berlin, and she'll try to join us as soon as possible.
So she might still join us. And meanwhile, we are with you. So as you arrive and make yourself comfortable with us, I invite us to maybe take a few breaths to just arrive here in this space, in this virtual web that we are creating, co-weaving for 7 weeks. Is it 7 weeks already? Right? Today, I think it's 7 weeks. So 7 weeks is a lot. It's actually even at a time of ceremony for in Judaism, also in Christianity. 7 weeks is like a period of time that is celebrated. So let us just breathe in this um, breath of arrival and landing in this space that we are co-weaving for this long time, long period already. And just imagine and see the web that we are creating all over the globe. The beautiful web of open hearts that are caring for all the hearts that are facing turbulent, troubling, painful, suffering times. And we can just imagine that through this web that we are creating with our breath, nourishing our bodies, our souls, we can imagine this web alive, like our breath. It is nourishing us and the web. As we breathe in, we feel the connectedness through our web, and as we breathe out, we create and nourish that connection, our heart's connection. And we can imagine that this web that we are creating, this beautiful net around the globe, is like a web of love that emanates through our hearts and gives us the possibility to embrace the globe, this beautiful home. Each of us, wherever we are in the world, we are part of this pulsing, beautiful web of life, this web of open hearts that care and that can embrace with our hearts, with our love, those that are in immense pain and suffering, the hungry ones, the wounded ones, the angry ones, the grieving ones, all of them. And we can send love and compassion to all the hearts that need this nourishment that we can feel through our web. So let us just take another few moments to just feel this connection of love and care and emanate it through our hearts and through this web to all those that need it at the moment. And we can, of course, direct it also towards Gaza, one of the places in the world that needs it most, probably. In a big amount, it needs our love and care. So let us just imagine that through our web and through our hearts, this love and compassion, this care is reaching there. And in some way can soothe a bit of the pain that is experienced in that area. And let's widen the the circle around Gaza to the whole area of the Holy Land and all the neighbors, to embrace also with love and care, with compassion, all the inhabitants of this place on earth, all of those that are in conflict and separation, in fear, in survival. Let's bring towards them our open hearts. Just see them, acknowledge, and send them our love. And our faith, maybe also, if we can hold the faith and the belief that they and everyone and all of us deserve to live in peace. Let's hold this faith. If we have it, let's hold it. If we don't have it, let's try to grasp some hope that change is possible, that from this very deep, painful place that we are in, that there is a way of rising, that there is a way of changing, that there is a way to open our hearts to each other. All of us, or at least most of us, enough of us, so it will have a ripple effect on the whole globe. Let's imagine and hold this vision that we truly belong to each other, to this earth, to this sacred ground, and that we remember to honor this ground, this home, this earth, and each other, and all creation. And let's take another few breaths, just with holding this vision alive, nourishing this vision. We are holding it for ourselves and for everyone that in this moment cannot see the light, that cannot see the change. Let's hold it for them as well. Even if we have only a glimpse of the possibility of how peace could be like, this is already a lot. And we can try to breathe that in and just feel in ourselves a bit of the peacefulness, of the love of our web anchoring inside us. As we slowly open our eyes and connect to the web that we create here also in this virtual space. And welcome again to everyone. Thank you so much for nourishing this web, it really gives us a lot of strength to be here together and to open ourselves to the human kind from all sides, beyond sides. So welcome. And I'll pass it to David. I invite you to share with us, for those that are maybe new, a bit about Satyam, a bit about the strike. Why are we here?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Miriam, for inviting us into that space of the heart and of faith in a time of great tragedy and darkness. Today is day, I don't even know, 49, that
Yes.
I haven't I haven't given my body food. So so is May. And I've been really feeling it the last week. My body's very weak. It's even hard to walk. So I've increased a little bit of the juice intake to give me more energy. Until now, we're only on water and some apple juice and basic vitamins and salt. And as I take more juice in to give me more energy, I acknowledge that I have choice. If I want, in a moment, I can get anything I want in the place that I am. And this hunger strike, actually, that we started 49 days ago, was exactly to choose not to deny, to choose not to eat, in solidarity with those who don't have that choice and who are probably feeling like me right now, not being able to even walk properly, but without a choice, that are struggling to even walk to get some aid, risking their lives every day, seeing their friends and family shot, bombed, injured, without medication. And we chose to put all of our bodies and soul on solidarity with the people of Gaza. And that doesn't mean we're not in solidarity also and sit in pain also with the hostages. We're in solidarity with everyone who's suffering, who's done injustice. And we're also in solidarity with our friends and in the West Bank, in villages being demolished right now. An activist friend of us was murdered just a few days ago, trying to just protect non-violent activists, trying to protect his land while they were trying to destroy with bulldozers, settler coming and destroying, trying to destroy the water source of their village, military supporting, not intervening. The one who murdered, he is out on house arrest and they didn't prolong it, while the leadership of this village, Masafariata, is being held in prison. They're being denied their body to return Awad's Awada's body, even to have a funeral, without agreeing that only 15 people can come. This is happening right now everywhere. So we are in solidarity. And we said, as long as the people in Gaza don't eat, we won't. out of choice because we have that choice. And the intention of this, so who's we? We're May Shaheen and me and Miriam and many others, Palestinians, Israelis, international, who have opened Satyam 1.5 years ago, which is located in the occupied territories of the West Bank. And it's a community center. And we opened it right when the last escalation was happening. We said, and May said, well, we need a space because everything is closing down, and to keep meeting and keep doing joint work. And then we opened Satyam because of this need to keep meeting for the community, for activists, to have a place to come, to rest, to plant the seeds of a different future tomorrow, because we believe we are all equal. And we believe that meeting is one of the pieces, coming together in community and remembering our shared humanity, listening to each other, and then from there acting is something that's very, very powerful, from love, from friendship, from connection. Understanding that first we need to take those walls down inside our own hearts that we have grown and learned to make each other enemy and to kill each other. And to remember we are one family and we want the same thing, to live in peace and dignity and safety, and that counts for everyone. So from that place, what is our true thing that we need to fight? And it's actually the systems of oppression, the systems of discrimination, of dehumanization that have been part of the history of this last decades in this land. And so we're working together to change, bring awareness, heal, grieve, and empower each other to do a change wherever we can in our own communities, support each other, Palestinians, Israelis, and internationals together. And we really believe we need the international community. And this is why, as part of this hunger strike, we made it global. We said, let's have daily Zooms to bring in people from all over the world and show them the reality here that so often regular media, public media does not show. And this is why we bring the voices of Gazans, of people in the West Bank, of activists, of ordinary people that are trying to do something and help, and that still believe in humanity and still believe that there is a path together. And these voices are rare nowadays, unfortunately, but there are many. And we said, let's bring everyone together and see how we can support each other and make a change together. So we encourage everyone to join our hunger strike, join sharing, inviting people, and also to connect and find where you can do impact. Maybe you have money to give. We give you options to donate directly to support people. Maybe you can mobilize, maybe you can demonstrate. And one thing that we stand for is to stand with everyone, not to pick sides, to stand with the humanity of everyone. And that's something that is really in the core of our values. So we always stand with those who are done injustice, whoever it is. One life is equal one life. We don't differentiate. And for me, it's so disheartening. Yesterday I was in two protests in Tel Aviv, and there was one protest against the starvation and for the Gazan people, and it was maybe a few hundred people. And then there was the protest afterwards for the hostages, and it was thousands and thousands of people, and they don't even mention Gaza. And it's so heartbreaking for me to see that people can feel like humanity for some part of, what they like to the hostages, and not empathize with the horrors that are right now experienced by the people in Gaza. And it's just so heartbreaking for me. And this is what we want to bring the humanity of everyone. And this is what we do in Tatyam, and that's what we're trying to bring with all the speakers and all the people that we bring on here. So thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for walking with us this path. And yeah, and for those who are in or around Berlin, me and May will be in Berlin on Saturday, and we have a gathering there for the hunger strike in community. And in grief and in acknowledgement, and in seeing what we can do in Germany, in Berlin, how we can connect and do more. What kind of actions, what kind of events can we do to bring the voice of humanity and solidarity? So yes, you're most welcome. Reach out if you want to attend. Yeah, thank you. And I'm so grateful that today our friend and partner of Miriam is willing to come and speak, to bring a voice often less heard, and a voice of someone who grew up as a religious Zionist and in the West Bank settlements, and to share their journey, how they ended up being part of Satyam, and even way before Satyam, how they found in their heart a different path. And I know Roy as someone who just deeply embodies like seeing humanity, and has so much solidarity in his actions, and really humanizing wherever he goes, and um, it's an inspiration for me. Those people who just walk the talk and walk the path. So thank you for coming on, Roy. I'm grateful for you. Uh,
Mm.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello, thank you. Thank you, Rui, for joining us today. And also, David, thank you so much for what you're holding and for your words and for your care. I can feel your care all through. So I will shortly introduce Rui, and we will have a kind of an interview here together with you. And maybe in the end, if he will be open to receive questions, you can write also in the chat, and he will choose if he wants to answer. This is this is a sensitive topic to come and bring the other side. Ro'i was born in Ramat Gan in Tel Aviv to a religious Jewish family. Um, and he grew up being a lot in the settlements in the West Bank, and got active as well, as part of his family did. And something happened, maybe not something specific, but soon we will also ask him and he can share more, that opened his eyes to see beyond the narrative that he was born into. And so today, he's part of the community of Satyam, and travels between the settlements, the Jewish settlements, and the Palestinian, um, as a as a way of bridging, and as a way of seeing the humanity in both of the sides. So this is a special view that he has, and through this interview with him, I really invite us to open our hearts to see those that we many times see as the bad ones, as especially in the circles um, of the peace activists. And so it is very valuable that we can see actually the human beyond these walls of separation that we've created in between us. So welcome, and I will also say that Ro'i will try to speak in English, and if he will have difficulty, I will also help with translation from Hebrew.
Thank you.
So he will feel free to switch between the languages if he needs, and I will translate. Um, and yeah, and please feel free to share whatever feels comfortable, and also in a way safe for you and for your family.
Mm.
So welcome, and I'm so happy you're here. And David, thank you for inviting him. I it was your idea, so I appreciate it. And maybe you can share a bit about um, your life, maybe just for us or for the people here that mainly are from abroad, and maybe some of you haven't been actually to any settlements. Maybe you have never had the chance to meet someone that grew up in in such circumstances. So maybe you can share a bit about the family you were born into and the way you lived, the way you believed things are a bit of the your childhood, your youth, whatever feels accurate for you to share.
So, thank you for everyone that here, and thank you, Miriam, and thank you, David. Do you hear me good? Yes, thank you. So it's the first time in my life that I speak about myself in a Zoom, um, and it's a big honor for me. I will try to enter you, like, to give you uh, to see me and to hear my story. I grew up in Ramat Gan, in a big city close to Tel Aviv, for a normal religious, modern Orthodox religious Jewish family. But I was an activist from very young, like, I think that before Rabin, the prime minister, get killed, I already start to join to my sisters, and for another big friends, for a right side activist, active movement against the peace project that Rabin tried to manage. Um, I was there, and I took part in a lot of demonstrations when I was very young. Like, I was in a, like, maybe 10 years old, 11 years old, and I already did was like in all of the country in these demonstrations. Um, and in that time, we used to have a lot of terror attack. Like, every week, we had buses in Jerusalem, in Tel Aviv, bombs with on the buses, like, with 20 people die, and it was horrible to hear, to live like that, and and I was part of this community, and very fast I start to go more for the settlements. I discovered that I have uncles, like, close family around, and my sisters also moved to live there, and joined for one big family that very famous there. And I was part. Well, I was part of movements there. In that time, I felt that, like a settler, we are more fighting for on the land, and not against, not making tag mechir, what we call it, like, to fight and to try to kill somebody in the other side. And more, and what I see, and what 99% of us did in that time, it's to catch another land, uh, with the name of God, with the name of the Bible, with the name of all the religions that each one of them think that they are the chosen one. And uh, and um, I was like that till I was 18 years old. And when I was 18, I moved to live in near Masafer Yatta, in one yeshiva, in like a college for religious guys before they go to the army. And after almost 1 year there, I decide I we had one accident, not about our movement about peace or Palestinian, but something break my belief in God. And then I arrived to. I used to volunteer a lot of years. From 13 years old, I start to volunteer with disabilities in different organizations, and from one story that happened there, I decided that I felt that I cannot continue to be religious, and then I joined for a group. That groups of that lives in the nature, people from all over the world, and I met there people from Europe in the first time in my life, and I met there people, Muslims from north of of Israel, and I met Bedouins, and I met different people and different view of peace. This was a rainbow gathering groups that I joined them. It was in 2000, 2000 exactly, and. And after 2 years that I was with them, and I left my community, my religious family. I we continue. We still the terror attacks was um, like very often. Like every 1 or 2 weeks, we had like bus bombs, terror in the middle of the cities, and I met one girl, one woman, one young woman in Jerusalem when we went to play there in the street, and I start with her. We had nice conversation, and after 2 weeks later, when I back from the Dead Sea to uh, to Jerusalem, and I thought that I would meet her again where she work, I discovered that they had a terror attack in the Sbarro restaurant where she work, and that she died. And then I decide to go to the army. I decide to go to be a fighter, and I start to exercise in a group that special group of fighters that should catch only terrorists with blood on them hands, and not to keep or to meet civilians. But that was my plan, and I joined them and I exercise. And after 1 year, like few months before we finished to exercise, we had a psychologic test, and all our group, all the guys that survived these trainings, um, we had like a special meeting with one psychologic, and he asked us what happened, what you will do, how you will manage if you see in front of you a terrorist with remote control that in one click a bomb in a bus in Jerusalem or Tel Aviv or wherever will explode and 20 people will die. But these terrorists will hide behind civilians. And I don't want to talk about the other friends, but I was the only one in the group that felt, wow, that's the point. I can't promise to anybody in the world that I will kill him. Also, if I will save 20 people. Um, and then I discover that this is not for me, and I stop to be a fighter. They ask me to keep to continue to be a commander of happiness, and I stay there, and I stay in the group, but I didn't accept to. Like I couldn't continue, and the trainings, and I stop, and that's like I continue another 2 years with them. It was also in Gaza, right before the Hitnatkut, the moment that happened 20 years ago exactly. Today, it's the 20 years ago. It's happened that Israel left a big part, like they left Gaza. We call it the Hitnatkut, and today in Israel. Uh, we it's like kind of a memorial day, mostly for the right side and for the religious people about it, that we left Gaza. And I was there. Um, in that time, 20 years ago, exactly from today, I fight against the army. I just finished the army, and then I fight against the army because I didn't thought that we need to leave Gaza. Um, so I already was like not religious and live with people from all over, but still I kept on a security view. And after a few years, like around 2027, 2028, I start to open more and more, and I understood
27?
no,
17
yeah,
or 7?
2007
Ah,
and 2008, something around that time when I start to study law in the college. I opened my view more and more, and I met more people in the academic that they are Muslims, and I wanted to connect them, to be with them, and I see much more when we are together. Well, when I say that's my body feel when we are together, we understand like the lies of others and how much it's important that we will be together. And it was much more interesting for me. Wow, I start to cry now.
just
It
maybe
wa-
take a breath
yes,
because you spoke a lot and you can also cry. It's okay. But maybe just take a breath
yes,
and you shared already a lot from also your time as a in your childhood and becoming activist very very early, and then also your path of leaving religion as a way of not believing anymore in God after some incidents that you couldn't just keep on believing,
yes,
and then opening your perspective through meeting people from all over, and different kinds of people, and having the opportunity to also see maybe other perspectives, new perspectives that you were not able to see before, and then choosing to go to the army as a way of joining the protection of your people after your friend got killed in an attack, and then but then again meeting your humanity in the moment that you were asked if you could take the life of civilians from one side to protect civilians from the other side, and you were not able to say yes.
yes,
And from that place again joining the forces that were against leaving Gaza, against leaving the settlements, and actually fighting against the army that you were part of.
yes,
So again, your heart was maybe torn in between the way that you grew up and the ideology of owning the land, or let's say you maybe you said it differently, like the belief that this land belongs to you and that you need also to protect it for your safety and for your survival. Tell me if
yes,
I'm
yes,
correct
yes.
me if I
Go on.
didn't understand. And and then and then going to study law, to maybe you didn't say why, but maybe also to be in a place where you can actually make a difference for people that are having difficulties regarding justice. And then during your studies you're actually drawn again to meeting those from the other side, those that have other perspectives, and realizing that each of you carries different narratives, and that together you can see the lies of of all the sides, and also maybe what you have in common. And this is something that was touching you.
Yes,
You want to
I forget. Yeah,
you want to say more, because you said for a moment, oh,
yeah,
when I say it,
yeah,
I feel something in my body. what
yeah.
what did you feel? You want to go into this?
No,
No, okay, it's okay.
now I'm more. I breathe and I took this time and I just you just
You want to
remind me
continue the
some
story?
yeah I just now you say one of the sentence you say why you start to study law, and it's remind me three reasons that I start to study law. It was one of them was because the settlers that get arrested like 2 years before I study, when I just finished the army, and exactly 20 years ago, some of my family get arrested because they close roads. They are settlers. They close roads because they try to stop the army from taking the Jewish from Gaza. In the same time, I went with my clothes of uniform from the army. I went to the high court to protect on my friend from El Yamun, from Jenin, that he's Palestinian, that he came from a family that he had some freedom fighters or terrorists, how the Jewish will call him, or how uh, others will call them. But this friend, he was a peace fighter. He is a peace fighter, and he used to volunteer with me in festivals uh, in that time. And I went with my uniform to the high court, and I tried to protect on him. And with me, we had like a lot of letters and of a lot of Israelis that want to keep him in Israel, like he want, and that he will not back to Jenin because his family wanted to kill him because he's pro peace. In the end, we succeed to open, after 2 times that he was half a year in the jail in Israel. He asked not to go out from the jail because if he would go back, they will throw him inside Jenin. And once we took him inside Israel, when they just throw him there, um, and then we succeed to find for him a way to go through Jordan to India. Until today, he's in India at life. Um, and after this and another story in my organizations of disabilities, I discovered that my way to change will be like I can help more to change here around if I will be a lawyer. And then my story starts more and more. I I start in the like I study law. I met different new friends for life that they are Arabic, and I start to meet more to open my heart and my ideas, and to understand also things about religions and how it's can separate. And um and I found that my power is mostly to talk with people from that I can speak with them in them language, like settlers and right side people. I can bring them the ideas, like from the Judaism, some of the ideas that they are hiding, or the rabbis sometimes hiding from them. Uh, like the story, if you, I don't know if you know that, but when the Hebrew, what do you say? Ah, when the Hebrew people and Moses ran away from Egypt, when they passed the Red Sea, and Moses closed the sea on the Egyptians, and then they die there. Moses and the Hebrew people, what they wrote in the Bible, that they start to sing a song about it. And then we have one story in the old books of the Judaism that the rabbis mostly they hide it, but they say there that in that time, in that moment when Moses start to sing about it, some angels join him and sing also, sing with him and with the Hebrew people. And then God stopped them, stopped the angels, and tell them, מעשה ידיי טובעים בים, ואתם אומרים שירה. Like my creation people die now in the sea, and you are singing now? Like I create all the people. I love all my kids. I create all the people here around in the Middle East. It's hard for me, like when some of them, with any one of them get killed, and it's not time to celebrate. And I try to pass this idea, or ideas of Ibrahim, of Abraham, and of the Rambam, another big Arabic Jewish rabbi that was like, I don't know, 500 years ago. And I do it oftenly. I go for a meeting of my family also in Hebron and in other settlements, and mostly it's for to talk with people around, with the young people. And when the 7th of October happened, and some of my friends get killed, if in the party, if in the Berryman community, and if in the kibbutzes around Gaza, I found that again that my way to help is it's to use my connections. So I instead of to go to volunteer in different stuff, I took my power, and I make a list of people and connection that I can have for the most radical right side groups, like settlers groups, and I try to talk with the heads of them, like with the educators of them, and I try to talk with them directly, and to with some of them. The one I didn't succeed to talk with a lot of them, but I succeed with some of them, and to try, and I try to explain them in them way, not in a way of humanic human right uh, um, activist. I brought it with a way that, like, in manipulation, that I can do, because I know how it's worked behind, and what can manage people, and and that was my first thing that I did in the first months of this war, and until now, like today. And I show the two sides, but I try always also with my family, that some of my nephew don't accept to talk with me, or one of them told me that I'm not his uncle anymore. If my sister is I don't want to say all my friends, Arabic friends, that Palestinian friends that I save for my family members. Uh, I tell them that they are my brothers. That Samar or Bilal, they are not friend of me. He is my brother and she is my sister. And when I say that's for the young people in some of my young people in my family, they didn't accept it, and we are negotiation about humanity, but I do my way from this side. I don't know what you if you want to ask me more. I just that was what I feel now to share.
Mm,
Um,
thank you.
and if you have any question, you can ask, and I will
Mm,
try to answer. Um, yeah.
okay, so let's take a moment of a breath with all these stories being shared here. And if there's any question, you want to raise your hand or open your mic or even just write in the chat. Else, I have also questions. um, so maybe I will ask one. I see uh, some raised their hands. Okay, Teddy, I see you raised your hand. You want to talk?
Thank you, Miriam, and thank you, Oe, and thank you, David, all of you, for holding this space. I am so deeply moved, and when I heard you were coming on today, I knew I had to come, even leaving a Tisha B'Av gathering, just to hear you. I honor so much your struggle.
Mm,
And my question is, um, to help me, perhaps, with my practice as I hold, as a Jewish woman, I hold deeply um, the grief and the suffering of the people in Gaza and in the West Bank, the Palestinians, It's very deep in my heart. And I also really try and hold the Israeli settlers, whom I don't know personally. And what I tap into is that so many I know from being in Israel recently and from my own family and friends come from survivors of the Holocaust and are looking, as humans do, for a place to live, to have a life, to have land, to raise their families and children, and just have a chance of survival. That's what I do my best to hold. And also the reality that I have been told that I try to hold, which is I don't know how many millions of Jews live in Israel, maybe 9, I've been told 9,000,000, surrounded by Arab countries, many Muslim, some Christian, some of whom also want to annihilate the Jews, as the Jews are annihilating the Gazans. I do my best
Yes.
to hold both. And to be honest, it's harder for me to hold the Israeli settlers in my heart. It's harder. And so I'm really asking your wisdom, experience, and love. Like what do you notice changes as you speak to your own family and your own neighbors in some sense from the settlements? Like what is possible in your humanity talking to them in the language they understand? What becomes possible in their hearts in relation to the Palestinians? I guess that's my question.
So I would love to understand exactly the question. מה
מה
מאפשר?
מה, מתוך השיחות שלך עם
כן.
המשפחה שלך, עם המתנחלים, מה, מה אפשרי? כאילו, זה שאתה יכול לגשת לדבר איתם בשפה שלהם, מה אתה רואה כאפשרות
וואו. אה,
בהקשר של אנושיות?
כן, I want to bring, I want now to bring hope, but the 7th of October is often a big trauma for a lot of people, settlers and not settlers, also people from the center. I'm sorry, I will say what now I have. I feel also if it's not the most all of us, all the most of the Israelis, and of course that 100% of the settlers almost got killed in terror attacks. I was in three times like I was in terror involved in terror attack and I almost die. And all my nephew and family have members and friends and family that die. And like in that moment, everyone in Gaza have family members and I I I don't know. הכרה, איך אומרים?
acknowledgement.
Acknow-
Acknowledge.
acknowledgement. When I bring like when I try to when I speak with them, when I go for any event that the big family from the other side from the settlements arrived, I try to talk with them to be there, and people just from all ages come to speak with me. Like I'm the Tel Avivian gay, I don't know, lefty side, and let's talk with him. Let's see what he have, which news he have to share with us. And I open them heart, and I speak with them the same stories like I told you before, like what I say about the Egyptian, and also I I, I tell them a lot about like that God love my friends with the tattoos and anarchistic from Berlin that used to volunteer with me in Ukraine in the war when I went there in the beginning of the war, like with one group of Engineers Without Borders, and love God not less than that he love them like my family. He love also my friend Samira, that she is working like a doctor in a hospital in Israel, and so I I try to show them, and a lot of times I need to repeat and to explain, but but people's it's hard for them to believe. Uh, and to believe that they will be safe if they will be open for the Palestinian. There's something in the trust that they didn't had before. Now, after the 7th of October, it's surviving for them. And like yesterday, I wrote one sentence after that we got in Israel, and I believe that in all over the world, we got the video of two hostages that get that maybe you see that they very very thin and making them grave in Gaza now, and I see that, and then the first sentence that I had, it's to write to ask in my public account in the internet. It's is it hard for you to see a Zionist starving, uh, and it's also hard for you to see children's and women starving in Gaza. And then a lot of people write things that I don't want to see also. And then I wrote after, is it hard for you to see a Jewish get killed in a murder? And it's hard for you also to know and to look on the idea that we are that we are like community, we are killing people that run after flour, I don't know, to make bread in Gaza. And I try like I'm thinking when I write these things, I'm thinking I already invite them in the post before for a Zoom with Gazan people, but um, it's open. Some of the people, it's open them maybe an idea, but some of them like feel that they really need to close the heart, because when we open the heart, the enemy use that, and in the end like kill thousands of us. uh, I don't know, I'm pretty sure that I didn't answer for your question. I just want that you will know, all of you will know, that every settler have post-trauma or something. That I'm not doctor, I'm not psychiatric or something, but everyone there have traumas from somebody that get killed, not like an army guy, like somebody, a kid or family that just drove back home, and on the way they get shooted or something like that. So we are all here in the Middle East traumatic, and with the support of all of you, and support that not don't accept to talk with anybody, like to help to connect and to connect the like uh, that can help. Like I plan to write איך אומרים צוואה?
צבא?
צוואה.
Testament?
Testament, that my money, that it's not I don't have a lot, but that my money, if I will get killed by in terror attack, or because I take a lot of risk now and I go deeply through like for places that it's very dangerous for me, like a Jewish guy. Uh, like I go for places in Palestine that I don't like, that it's dangerous for me. I want to write, and I talk about it a lot, that I will write paper that if I die in a terror attack, I want that the money, that big amount of my money, they will put it, that my family will have to put it for connection between Jewish and Muslims. And I studied that from the daughter of the Rabbi Fruman, that when I was young, I used to call him left side boged,
Traitor.
traitor left side, because he tried to connect Jewish and Muslims together in the settlement where he managed the community there, and he was very revolution guy. But after that, before he died, I start to understand the way, and to connect it much more. And then when his daughter almost get killed when a terrorist enter to her home, and she almost get killed there. She say, "I will not stop to fight for peace." Uh, so this is what, if somebody else have a question.
Just we'll take another moment because we have I haven't said it in the beginning for those that are new here, maybe, but we are going to have breakout rooms where people can actually share how this story, what you shared, is impacting us. So maybe for now, this was maybe a question that answered that your answer was very wide. So maybe this is enough for this moment. And if you have more questions, you can write in the chat. I also see some already wrote. It's more thank yous. Yeah, there are some thank yous that you can read. And for now, maybe we close this part of our conversation, and just again thank you so much for your courage to come and speak your truth and your story, which is really a unique and special opportunity for us to see the humanness in yeah in those parts of the humankind that are living in this land. And I think the essence from what you shared is that this understanding that we are all part of creation of God. If we call it God of or whatever, we are all part. And as long as we are continuing to making the split and separation between the different people and the different religions, we will continue nourishing the conflict. And the way that can bring us together is this acknowledgement that we are all having a trauma. We are all having wounds. I remember one time David said it, we are all wounded. We are all wounded. And from the wounds, we can create more wounds if we don't take responsibility for our healing. And it just happens out of rage, out of anger, out of deep grief and pain. We can continue creating the cycle of violence. And so the way of stepping out is to see the humanness and to acknowledge our shared pain. So maybe we close here, and thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing with us. And we will now go into the breakout rooms. So you will have
Yeah,
time.
I just really want to invite, as we have also these enemy images of each other, and especially like settlers as this enemy that is just causing so much harm, which they are. It is true. There is so much violence that's happening. So, and and yet, what we try at Satyam is we try to reach everyone and to actually also, Satyam is a continuation of a project we had called Ikumi. And we tried to reach as far into each side as possible, to really open a space to listen to each other, that people can start to listen to new ideas and be changed, be touched. Because really, really, like, these separations here on the land, even people don't meet anymore. People just meet in violent interactions, and f- to change, to change. We saw that really we need to be exposed to other ideas, other perspectives, other humanity, and in the same time to really protect those who are being done injustice to. As so, but how do we change? How do we transform? And yeah, so this invitation. So I just want to also say thank you for your courage to come on with this background that you carry, because yeah, it's also not an easy background to be in a peace leftist kind of like environment with. And I really honor your courage and your your, your openness with us. And yeah, I want to invite you into the breakout rooms with just really some giving each other some space to share. How is this landing? How does it touch you? What does it bring up in you? Whatever it is. And then let's come back together, and maybe, yeah, and let's listen to like last voices, something you want to bring maybe to OE or to out of your small groups. So even if you don't want to join the small groups, we invite you to stay and to close together in about 10 minutes.
Welcome back, everyone. We would love to hear a few voices, in essence, what you wish to echo back, so we can all hear maybe something that you wish to share with Ro'i or with every one of us here from this conversation, from the breakout rooms, whatever is alive in you. Marsha, yes.
Yes, hi, Roy. I want to thank you so much. I give you so much love. And I want to thank you for your incredible heart and courage to have those, to choose to be in the difficult conversation with truth and with love and with belief that there's love on both sides, and you really want to be speaking to those that you know where the thinking, where the pain, where the damage, um, where their courage is. And when courage meets courage, um, it's difficult and it's beautiful. And I just want to thank you for how you presented yourself to us. You're saying for the first time that you ever shared your story in that way. I just want to thank you, and I offer my protection and love to you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marsha.
Yeah.
Um, so there's another voice, Naisa and Malka. Bina?
It's Nisa this time.
Nisa. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Rui, when you were sharing, I thought when you shared, I was gonna get this aha, which I kind of did, but not like you did. You talked about sort of losing faith with God, but didn't go into detail, and you also didn't say this particular moment shifted me to see that the way I had grown up and been raised. Seeing some of some of what we're taught that you start to not believe it anymore, and you didn't really go into detail, but the it didn't really matter that you to do that. I think the point was that we're all taught something, and then we have to take it in and really think critically about it, thinking and also listen deeply to others. And I guess this whole journey we're taking together in this little community is about opening our hearts and being open. And so it helps to hear one more person share, your stories. You really you in your life actually were very close to the source of the conflict and the trauma, and you really you understand it now that the trauma is so deep within us. I think we all know that, but it just takes it another level down, which is helpful. So thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. If you want, I can share. I can share why I lost my belief in God, but I'm not sure that it's something that she want to know.
She said
Mm.
you actually didn't share, but it was not necessary for the because she like this point was not needed in a way in your sharing.
If we had more, if I was sitting with you, and I would be interested in understanding, but I mean, given the time constraints, and that wasn't an obvious thing for you to just say, well, here's what happened. It's okay that you didn't. But I did, I
Maybe we
noticed. I
will.
just want to say I noticed.
We can
Maybe
take
one day we will be in the same movement,
Maybe.
in the same place, and on the way. Talk with
I'm
me, and I will
also
share
having my
more
own
with you.
crisis of faith, maybe, so I'm really particularly attuned to when people have those. Yeah.
Mm,
Thanks.
thank you.
I,
Shall we have one more voice? Is there one?
yeah.
And meanwhile, I can just say that David shared in the chat ways of how you can be in connection with us and with Satyam and with the ways of spreading our messages and staying connected. So you're welcome to become part and share our message widely. And I see Regina, you want to say some closing words?
I do, but if you only have one more voice, I will defer to Meyer because she was raising her hand
You see.
non-electronically.
Okay.
Uh, Thank
Maybe
you, Regina.
maybe
What I want to say that was so inspiring for me, so everything. And the story you told about Moses and the people singing at the death of the Egyptians and how God said, "What? These are all my people." That was so illuminating. I had not heard that story. So that is particular to say, oh, we're all human. That's one thing. That story was uh, impressed me. So thank you for that. I will use that. And also, I was impressed by through your whole life that you fought and acted for what you believed in. Maybe the beliefs changed. You didn't change in your, as I understood it, in your way of wanting to uh, actively be part of living your beliefs. I was really appreciated that. Thank you.
thank you. And if you will want,
Okay.
thank you. And if you will want, I can share you the sentence that you can find exactly this, and you can study about it more.
someone wrote in the chat, I think Regina, it's in
It's
the
in Exodus, I imagine.
Babylonian Talmud, Megillah 10b. She knows exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
Can also.
And Regina, I think Roy wants to hear you also. So maybe you can be really the last voice.
אפשר בעברית?
Yes, you can say in Hebrew and maybe you can also translate for everyone. Yes, please.
רועי, רב תודות. בשבוע הזה זה 31 יום מאז שאני חזרתי מ5 שנים בארץ. וכשהייתי בארץ אני כתבתי צוואה לפני מלחמת המפרץ ב91, והיו מילים מאוד קרובות למה שאתה אמרת. אז אני, זה הביא לי תקווה, ומאוד הייתי רוצה לדבר איתך הרבה יותר, אבל אין לנו זמן עכשיו, אולי פעם אחרת. I said to Roe that this week is 31 years since I came back from 5 years in the land. And when I was in the land, it was the time of the 1991 Gulf War. And before that war, I wrote an ethical will with words that were very much along the lines of what Roy shared. And when he shared that, I actually felt a great deal of uh, grief and gratitude, the painful hope. So I hope we'll be able to connect again. So grateful to you and to Miriam and to David and Mai and all of you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So we will close maybe with a small prayer or a song. Or does anyone have any prayer for closing or any song to offer? Regina, you? Because I see you're nodding. Or you?
Yeah.
You want to say something?
Regina, I would love to give you to choose that, but I just can share that my idea that I had now, and I'm in the first time in this kind of conversation, but it's the song that Chava Alberstein sing, and it's an old song that מי האיש שחפץ חיים, אוהב חיים לראות טוב. Rita.
Would you like to sing that?
I will sing. I will sing it.
Thank you so much.
I will sing it. Yes. And I'll sing it in Hebrew and English. I have a singable English for that. מי האיש החפץ חיים אוהב ימים אוהב ימים לראות טוב. Who is the one who desires life, loving days to see good. ניצור לשונך מרע, ושפתיך מדבר מרמה, סור מרע ועשה טוב, בקש שלום ורודפהו. Let's guard our tongues from evil and our lips from speaking falsehood. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and it pursue. I. Please sing wordlessly if you know it. I.
Thank you. Thank you so, so much for all of you. Thank you, Regina.
I did just want to say quickly that I was very glad to sing that song, always glad to sing that song. I just wanted to say for anybody who knows the song Hashivenu, I found out today that Alda Hatalin's name means return. And so there has been a request put out to connect the song Hashivenu that we sing on this day with the calls to return his body to his family for burning and with their hunger strike. So
Mm.
I wanted to connect that and bring that to our circle.
Yeah, thank you so much. And this is also the closing of this Zoom and also of the day of the that the Jewish people remember the destruction of the temple. And it's for many a very it's a day of grief, and so as now a lot is being distracted, not only from the history, but in the present moment, the sacred of life is being distracted. Um, I wish to close with this beautiful Hashivenu, just because you said it. Hashivenu, like bring us back to the sacred also, to the sacredness, like the temple inside us and the temple in each of us, to acknowledge the sacredness in all life. Maybe hold this as a memory and come back to it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and wishing you a blessed day or night wherever you are. And thank you, Ro'i, again for joining, and David for holding the solidarity with Gaza, with all in this time, and for us here in this community, and for May also, wherever she is now, where she is now. Thank you all.
Yo, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And just for those who wish to know, tomorrow we will, and the next days, we have really also amazing conversations we will have. Yeah, so hoping to see you this week. Much love to you. Take care. Thank you for being with us.